Hello and welcome back to yet another Cinevlog, where obviously, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, I am going to go see Fantastic Four: First Steps. This has been a film that I've been kind of looking forward to, ever since it got announced that we are getting a Fantastic Four film, because I grew up on the original, early 2000s one, those two movies, as well as seeing them in the cartoons from the late 90s. Whenever they appeared in that, especially, Hulk versus The Thing, or Wolverine versus The Thing, stuff like that, from that era of those cartoons. But unfortunately, I have course to go to first, because we're wrapping up today for 2 weeks for summer holidays. So I gotta go into course. But after course, I'll be obviously going to go see the movie. So yeah, enjoy the little bit of vlog footage. Okay, so I'm back from seeing the movie. Ended up actually going with a few people from my course. I threw the idea out there, and I even said it to the instructor. Could we? Would it be possible to leave early for those who would like to go see Fantastic Four: First Steps in the cinema for the very first showing, which was at 10 past 12. She agreed, and a good few of us went. And I believe the consensus is that we all really enjoyed the film, because I definitely did. I actually really enjoyed this film. Now, I haven't rewatched the early versions of obviously the Fantastic Four from 2005 2007 in about 20 years. And I had planned to do that before this movie came out, but I just didn't have the time, unfortunately. But I really enjoyed this film. Though there are definitely aspects of it that weren't great. And that's just like a visual thing, where we see that you can tell certain things are green screened. Also the fact that the thing, the CG on the thing, for the thing, didn't look all that well. It looked kind of out of place at certain points of the movie, which did take me out of it slightly. But aside from that, I still had a fun time, as well as the CGI baby. A lot of people have been comparing it to the CGI baby from the Twilight series. It didn't remind me of that because I never seen those movies. Well, I've seen the first Twilight film, but anyway, what it reminded me of was the terrible CGI baby that we got from the Son of the Mask. That's what it reminded me of, but I understand why they had to do that in a certain way. But aside from that, I do like this Fantastic Four cast. I do. I've been staying away from other people's reviews, like the Trash Picture Show. He sent me his review, which I'll probably watch after I finish filming this little clip. The same with AJ. I seen he posted his just before we actually got to go see it, because in Ireland it only came out that Friday. There was no like midnight viewing or stuff like that where we could have seen it the day. I could have seen it the day before it came out. But yeah, I definitely liked it. Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, I really liked it. I do like her interpretation of it. Now, again, as I said, I haven't gone to see the OG one in a while, so I can't remember how that one was. Just apart from like a few clips that I've seen on social media recently enough. Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards. I like it. I definitely do like it. There are certain times where it's Pascal playing Pedro Pascal, but then there are also other times throughout the movie that I'm like, oh no, this is definitely Reed Richards. He's actually finally portraying Reed Richards, and that's usually when Reed is trying to come up with the solution of how do we save the planet. How do we save the planet from Galactus without giving up our sun? Now, I've never read any Fantastic Four comics. I'm going to say that now. I haven't read any of them, so I don't really know much of it aside from the two movies that I haven't seen in 20 years, as well as the cartoon that I remember from when I was a kid. And again, that's also 20 years ago now. So I don't remember a lot of that stuff because I haven't gotten around to rewatching it, because I do know that I do have at least a few. Okay, they're hidden behind it, but I do have some volumes of the Fantastic Four on DVD of the cartoon. But yeah, I liked it. Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, I was a bit hesitant for. And that is because, I obviously grew up with Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, and I remember liking his version of Johnny Storm an awful lot, especially the banter that he had with The Thing, with Ben Grimm. And I really enjoyed that, and I was kind of hoping to see some of that in this movie. And there's a little bit of that, but it's not to the point where it's like an antagonizing thing, where Johnny's just picking on The Thing for the sake of it, like it would have been in the early 2005 version of it. And he grew on me. He honestly, throughout the entire process of the movie, he grew. Joseph Quinn's Human Torch grew on me massively. Where he does his own thing through in the movie. He's the one to decipher the Silver Surfer's language, the original language, and then be able to convince her to the Silver Surfer to essentially sacrifice herself at the end with Galactus. Um, and the thing, he's just there. Eben Moss. He was there. He was just there. There wasn't really much of him to do. They definitely tried to set something up with him with Natasha Lyonne's character, but that never went anywhere. And he didn't really have much to do it during the film. Yeah, he was there. He did some things, but again, there's just not a lot there for him to do. So Galactus. Ralph Ineson's voice of Galactus is really, really good. I really, really enjoyed that. I don't because I have it pulled up here on the laptop so I can actually remember the names, because if you've seen any of my previous videos before, when I didn't have names pulled up, I'm really bad at remembering names. So I'm just looking here to see if there was, aside from him being Galactus, is there anything that I would recognize him in that I would have seen before. And I think there's a few Harry Potter stuff that he was in that I'm quickly scrolling down on. Yeah, not really. Like, it's on his IMDb, it does say the character he played in Half-Blood Prince and the Deathly Hallows. I can't remember that character because it's been quite a while since I've seen the Harry Potter films. He was also in Guardians of the Galaxy, so this is his second MCU project in 11 years, where he just played a Ravager pilot back then. But yeah, a lot of the other stuff that's on here, aside from him being Galactus, I don't recognize. But that's fine. His voice really suited Galactus. As someone who vaguely knows of Galactus, I enjoyed. I enjoyed this, seeing the big towering motherfucker that he was. The fact, but one of the other things that really kind of I didn't like about this movie, and it's not necessarily a dig at the movie itself, it's just a trope, and that is whenever something happens in a bit of media and you see them explain the plan, and they go through what the plan is, it's not going to work. And that happens quite a few times in this movie, where they talk about how they're going to move the Earth, so that way Galactus will never find them, or it'll take him much, much longer to find the Earth. And obviously that's not going to go well, because the Silver Surfer obviously destroys that, and that's where Johnny slips out and reminds her of who she was before she became the Herald. And yeah, that bit, it just always annoys me, because once you notice it, once you've been told that and you start to notice it, anytime a plan gets mentioned in any form of media, always expect it to go wrong. It's the moment where they're like, oh, I have a plan, and it cuts to the plan happening, then you know it's going to actually happen. But yeah, aside, the CG baby and some of the CGI green screen stuff didn't look right, but aside from that, it's a really good watch. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see them again in Doomsday, and how Franklin, their child, is going to be involved in that, because we do get 2 post-credit scenes. Only one of them is worth watching, and it's the very first one. So if you don't want to be spoiled on the post-credit scene, click off the video now, even though I basically spoiled a good chunk of the film. But yeah, so that post-credit scene, where we do see Doom, we do see Victor Von Doom, we don't see RDJ though, we just see him hooded and the mask and near Franklin. Now, from what I have seen mentioned on social media, is that Franklin is, him. He is that big, strong, probably the strongest in the multiverse type of beings where he can literally he created a mini galaxy at one point as a baby or as a child. So that's probably why Victor Von Doom has come to see him. But yeah, that has been my review of Fantastic Four. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of the movie down in the comments down below. And I shall see you all once again on the 1st of August. Now that we're basically at the end of the month, I'll see you all on the 1st of August, where I'm going to be wrapping up the Saga of Darren Shan book reviews. So I'll catch you all on the very next upload.